But hey, congratulations on coming back here. What, 32 years now, and you're back with Osceola. What's it been like?
Oh, it's been great. It was funny. Last year at this time I was out at the house, out at the farm, doing odd end jobs. And football was just kind of something. I went out on a Friday night, watched my son coach, and went up to Osceola. So really a strange time last year. Being 31 years in and retired and excited and this came open, a good opportunity, and just excited to be back at Osceola. This is my third time going through Osceola as a coach, and definitely it's been a lot of fun just getting to know the kids again, and kids that I had in elementary that are now juniors and seniors, and coaching them, and of course just getting back in the football thing and the teaching aspect as well, and just being a part of my hometown again.
I know a couple years ago the team was 6-5, looking to build off that. But I remember talking to Coach Collins last year about the injuries that hit this team. You know, how is the health of the players going into this season? And do you think that they can still build on that from a couple years ago?
Everybody's been healthy, and of course, it's a numbers game right now for us. As far as my experience this year, we have 17 kids out. We've got some seniors that have been solid players the last few years for them, and then of course a lot of them are sophomores and freshmen this year. So it's I know they were successful a couple of years ago, but that was really a whole different group. Last year they did get the injury bug. They had a pretty good group, and they got injured, and definitely went through a rough time there towards the end. But to me, this year is just kind of a brand new year, different cycle of kids. Of course, right now we're just trying to get kids back out with the program. Our junior high numbers are around 10, I think. So Osceola is in a position where we're trying to get kids, back into playing football, and that's where we're not worried about it as at the moment. We're definitely just coaching the kids that we have, and putting our time and effort into the kids that are out there, and of course they deserve that, and they're responding, in the right way. They are very positive, working hard, conditioning hard, and trying to do the little things right to have a good year. And of course, the numbers will come, and of course, I'm new, but I'm not. I've been there before, but I am, kind of a new face, I guess, again. So sometimes that takes a little time in the off season. So we're hoping to have a good year this year, and good experience, and get some kids wanting to come back out the following year. So
Yeah, I think I was reading here. What is it? Five seniors you've got right now?
yes, yeah, we got five seniors, and like I said, they've been a part of the program since their freshman year. So they've all been there. They all played, in the past, and Devin Bloom was a senior last year that hurt himself early in the season in Jamboree, and wasn't able to play. He tried to come back, but he had an injury that kept him from being out there. And he's one of the main players that we have, and of course, we got. Kyler Mace at a linebacker, and he's playing a little bit of the lineman this year, and he's been there, and Will Murray at quarterback, who got some playing time there last year. So we're excited to see those three kind of come on, and reoccurring positions. And Bo Hamey is another one that's been a starter for him the last couple of years. So we're building on those four guys, and we have Cheyenne Wilson as far as a role player that's coming in, as well as she's been a part of the program. And so yeah, you got some upperclassmen, and we've only got two juniors out, and then the rest are young pups. We got some young linemen up front that are going to have to play, and a linebacker. So it's just welcome to football. Let's get it going. So.
Okay, you said Cheyenne. Is
Uh-huh.
that a girl on the team?
Yeah. Yes, it is. She's been a part of the program every year, and she is one of the hardest workers and best attitude players that I have on the team by far. She's dedicated. She goes to practice every day, works extremely hard, does whatever we need to have her, fill in on scout team today and doing things. But yeah, she's one that's, loves football, wants to be around it, and does a great job.
Well, that's awesome. We'd love to hear that. I'm sure that, there's a lot of other things you can learn about in football, and you know,
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
what's the experience been like for her and for the guys on the team, you know?
You couldn't tell that, okay, we have, a girl on the team or there's something odd or different. It's just everything's normal. I mean, she does everything that they do. She hops in the drills just like they do, and you couldn't tell that, okay, there's going to be any kind of situations or anything. It's just, hey, she's part of the team, part of the family, and we definitely very happy that she's out there with us.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So obviously in 8 man, you just have a few athletes and you can have a really good team because you don't have to
Right,
have, as many, obviously. It's simple mathematics. You know,
right.
do you feel like you've got it, the kind of kids that, if we can get a few of them going, we could see some big time scores here.
I think so. We're still in the early process, with my system and what we're doing. And of course, it's been a chess game, as it always is for a coach coming in with players, even though I knew kind of what I had coming in, but also trying to make the right fit. There's so many strategies that you have to do with low numbers, for a lot of things, for basically subs. If someone does get hurt, like they went through last year, how does the system run, and being able to be efficient on what you do with your players. So it's been a strategy summer for us, more than I've ever had at any place I've ever been. When you've got 40, 50 kids to choose from, you can kind of run your system and say, all right, next man up, here we go. Right now, it's they ran into it last year. It was a snowball effect. One person got injured, the next, and then, okay, that person's got to switch to this position now, and they learning new things all the time because they're having to take each other's positions, so to speak. So we've been trying to really, gear up for that and being able to be pretty efficient on with how we run things. And I'm anxious to see them play in a game situation. And we've been pretty good about, taking it one step at a time. And that's kind of where we're at. We can't, be expecting to be the best that we're going to be week one. And that's a seasoned team as well. We're looking to get better by week 6, 7, and 8, and start coming together.
Coach, anything I didn't ask you about your team you want to mention here?
Very happy to be back and be a part of Osceola again, and not just football, but the weightlifting and the community and the other sports, and very very appreciative of the community and the kids that are out there. Like I said, where we will build again and get some numbers going and get the Osceola Indians back on track, and very excited with the kids so far and what they're doing, and happy to be there.
Coach, thanks for talking to me.